The sidewalks of Philadelphia have been very good to me. Over the years, I've found a bunch of different musical instruments in various states of disrepair. I found this reel-to-reel recorder, but my most recent find has nothing to do with music or with instruments at all. It's this, a 3D printer. It was sitting next to a bunch of trash bags on the street, and as soon as I grabbed it, the wind picked up and the bag started to roll towards me. So I got out of there pretty quick. I didn't really get a good chance to look at it while I was on the street, but when I got home, I did some research. Turns out this is an inexpensive entry-level model called the Ender 3. It has this somewhat confusing sticker on it, which, if I'm interpreting this correctly, tells me that it was thrown away by a local design school. I learned that unlike regular printers, which use ink or toner to print on paper, 3D printers extrude plastic out of a nozzle, kind of like a glue gun. The plastic comes in long strands called filament. When you buy filament, it usually comes on a reel like this. I quickly discovered that there are websites filled with thousands of models, objects ready to be printed by printers just like this. Of course, immediately I start looking for musical projects, and there are a ton. After learning about the Prusa-Caster project, I decide right there and then I'm going to print an electric guitar. But first, I need to understand this piece of technology. Over the course of the next few weeks, I have many adventures with this new toy. I print brackets for my cables, figurines for my son. I even use it to make bridges for this Korean zither that I bought. There's a link to the video I made about that project in the description to this video. And yes, I'm now slowly printing that guitar. It's a very well-documented process. There's a great blog post that outlines exactly how you build it. And of course, not surprisingly, the bulk of the project is printing the pieces that make up the body. Unfortunately, this project was designed for a slightly bigger 3D printer than the one I found, so I'm using a modified version of the project adapted for smaller printers. It's basically the same design, but it's been broken down into smaller chunks. As you can see, I went for a mix of yellow and white. Each piece took between 8 and 24 hours to print, except for the final piece, which took a whopping 40 hours. This piece is so large that in order to be able to print it on my printer, I had to put it at an angle. When you do that, when you print something at an angle, there's always the danger that whatever you're printing will flop over in the middle of the print. To prevent that, you can configure the slicer software to add supports. You can see the tree supports it generated were a little bit creepy, but also a little bit beautiful. Again, this is just extra plastic. It's not part of the model. It's just there to provide stability during the printing process. Okay, now all we do is glue it together. It's a multi-day process. Every 12 hours, I come down to my workshop and glue on another piece. So far, we've only talked about the body of this instrument. What about the neck? Well, that's where things get a little bit more complicated. It's actually very hard to make a good electric guitar neck. They have to be very precise. Also, very few consumer 3D printers can print something that long. So the designer of this project tells us to go out and buy an electric guitar neck, but we're not buying it separately, just as a neck. We're buying it as part of a larger kit, specifically this kit from Germany. We're going to use the pickups, the bridge, the tuners, and yes, the neck from that kit. Unfortunately, shipping this thing from Germany would cost almost as much as the kit. Doesn't seem very appealing. Instead, I've opted for the cheapest Telecaster kit I could find that ships from the US. This model from K-Texan. I ordered it 3 days ago and it just arrived. While we're waiting for the glue on the body to dry, let's build this kit and we can see if we're even dealing with viable parts. Everything looks to be here. This is the bridge we're going to be using. As you can see, there are instructions here. The first thing we're supposed to do is work on the neck. Installing the machine heads is pretty simple. First, we tighten them by hand on the front. Next, we add the little stabilizing screws on the back. Next, we flip the neck over. It's time to attach it to the body. This kit is cleverly constructed. There's no need to do any soldering. You just click these connectors into place. Before we know it, we've got all of the front panel hardware done. The only thing left is the output jack. It's been 39 minutes and the basic guitar build is done. Now it's just putting strings on this thing. I think we're ready to try it out. Okay, I'm just gonna play some power chords. This is the neck pickup. It sounds pretty muddy. And this is the bridge pickup. Quite harsh. Now let's hear them together. Okay, so combined they actually sound pretty good. Okay, I think we've established that we have a viable electric guitar kit on our hands. Let's put together that 3D printed guitar. This is what the body looks like now that it's all glued. I'm just gonna say it, because of inaccuracies in my printer, the pieces don't line up exactly. I guess that will just be part of the charm of this instrument. Assembling this instrument is pretty easy. First, I take the strings off the white guitar. Next, I remove the neck. I'm just gonna do a quick check to make sure that the neck actually fits on the body. I'm assuming these things are pretty standard. Wow, this is my first time seeing what the guitar's actually gonna look like. Okay, I think I'm ready to screw the neck in. Of course, the screw holes don't line up. Next, I'm gonna unscrew the bridge from the white guitar. So unscrew the control plate. Luckily, this kit is designed so that you don't need to do any soldering. And now I'm just gonna transfer all the hardware over to the yellow guitar. Okay, let's move over to the workbench. One of the many pieces I printed out was this pickguard. I'm just gonna screw the pickup into it. For the most part, everything just fits, but not the bridge. The holes don't line up. So I'm gonna very gently drill new holes using this hand drill. Next, we attach the output jack. It actually fits better than the one on the white guitar. And finally, the control plate. Here's what it looks like now that it's all built. Okay, time to put strings on this thing. I'm gonna test it out by using it to play a lead melody over the backing music for this video. So yeah, it actually plays pretty well. Since it's basically a Telecaster in a weird 3D printed body, it is very, very twangy, which means that it's also really good for palm mutes. As it happens, I actually have a verse that would be perfect for palm mutes. As you can see, I've already got a drum track and a bass guitar track, and we're just gonna layer the guitars on top of those. And now I'll add some vocals. It works. Now I just need to finish the song. So last week when I was playing this, I found it pretty comfortable. I was even thinking maybe I would try to replace the pickups with something a little bit nicer. Then over the weekend, I went to New York City, and when I got back, I noticed that the guitar wasn't as comfortable to play anymore. The strings seemed a little bit too high off the fretboard. Well, it's pretty obvious what happened. It seems the tension from the strings is just too much for this piece of plastic. Over the course of the past week, the entire middle section has warped. For those of you who are playing along at home, the type of plastic that I used was PLA, which is what is recommended in that blog post. I also used the recommended print settings, so everything was done pretty much according to the plan. My guess is that if you wanted to make a really viable 3D printed instrument, you'd probably want to use a different kind of plastic or maybe put steel rods in it for support. But still, I mean, this is such a cool design. I'm really glad I built it. I learned a ton about 3D printing, a little bit about guitar making. Since this guitar obviously has an expiration date on it, I'm trying to use it as much as possible in the next few weeks. Not only did I use it in a song, but I also sampled it. I recorded both the neck and the bridge pickups. I also sampled the harmonics. And those sounds, the harmonic sounds, are actually the part of the sample library that I find the most exciting. For whatever reason, they sound pretty good on this guitar. A little bit like an electric piano. Anyway, that sample library I made is available to patrons. Also, I finished the song from this video. That is now up on Bandcamp. In fact, I'll leave you now with the chorus to that song. See you soon.